Week 3 of the $300 to $30,000 trading challenge did not end the way the first 2 weeks did. I blew up my account. And the craziest part is this, the win rate was still 70%. So today I want to show you exactly how that happened, why it happened, and why this is one of the most important lessons in this entire series. This video is not about pretending I got unlucky. This is about showing how easy it is to destroy a small account if you stop following a plan. I intentionally let this become a teaching moment because I wanted to show the danger early. Not because I recommend blowing up accounts, I do not recommend that, but because I want people to see how fast it can happen when you oversize and get out of control. If you watch this and only copy the green weeks, you'll miss the whole point. The point is to build a system. And week 3 showed exactly what happens when the system is ignored. The framework for the series has been the same from the beginning. Create a plan, test and optimize it, and then automate the plan. But there's an unstated rule underneath all of that. You actually have to follow the plan. In the last 2 videos, I had green weeks. Week 1 was green, week 2 was green, and then week 3 became the perfect example of what happens when your confidence grows faster than your discipline. Here's the full week 3 scorecard. Closed P&L, negative 679. Average P&L, negative 136. Total positions 10, wins 7, losses only 3, a win rate of 70%, profit factor of 0.45. The average P&L per trade was negative 68, the average winner a positive 81, and the average loser negative 414. Average risk of 388. Probability of profit at entry was 85.2%, and the average DTE was 0.9. And the average days in trade was 0.9. So everything pretty much stayed the same. This is why you cannot obsess over the win rate. A 70% win rate sounds great, but if your losers are massive, the win rate does not save you. And the reason this lesson is so powerful is because most of the week actually looked good. June 1st, 1 QQQ Iron Condor was a plus 100. June 2nd, 2 QQQ Iron Condors, plus 45 and plus 48. And then on June 3rd, we had 2 more QQQ Iron Condors, plus 100 and plus 70. June 4th, 2 QQQ Iron Condors, plus 90 and plus 111. So going into Friday, it would have been very easy to feel like everything's under control. And that's the trap. Small accounts usually don't blow up in a straight line. They build confidence first. Then, of course, Friday, June 5th happened, and the entire week flipped. There were 3 total positions, 2 Iron Condors expired for max loss. Now, in regards to the Tesla Iron Condor, that is not part of my plan. The only reason I did that was I was trying to make up for the losses of QQQ, but clearly you can see that that did not work. I started trading emotionally because I saw that negative 584 and the negative 495. So I was looking for a trade idea. I landed on Tesla because I thought that it wasn't going to keep going down. Well, obviously it did. And as you can see, I just multiplied my losses because of that. It was because I wasn't following my plan. I started trading emotionally and I let the emotions get the best of me. That one day lost $1,243, and that erased the entire week and then some. Now, what really happened on June 5th was the stock market experienced its sharpest single day sell-off since October. SPX fell 2.6%, Dow Jones dropped 1.3%, and the NASDAQ 4.2%. So because of that, a lot of things dropped, and QQQ being one of the worst of them dropped 4.8%. That really messed with my account because the previous day close was $740.61. During that single session sell-off on that Friday, they had an intraday low of $704. There's no way you're coming back from that, right? And that's why options, that's why stocks can be very risky. You don't know what the market's going to do. If we look at the first one, I opened it June 4th at 12:37, and I tried to close it multiple times, but it kept getting canceled. I tried to close it at June 5th at 12, at 1, at 1, at 2, kept getting rejected. I was trying to close it for less than, but it just wasn't happening. So I had to close it at the very end of the day for a max loss. And if we look at the other one, opened it June 4th and tried to close it a couple different times, was able to close it at 3:20 June 5th for another max loss. And that's just what happens in the market. If I hadn't traded that day, it would have been another green week and I would have been in the clear and ready to move on to week 4. Now, that day specifically was one of those non-farm payroll report days, and it got released at 8:30 in the morning. I should have known, and typically I'm not going to trade on those days because there's more volatility, especially with a 1 DTE, QQQ, and a small account. You might risk blowing up your account. So we know that for the future, and now we have some data that we can go into this next part of the series with that in mind. This is what blowing up a small account looks like. Now, let's be honest about why this happened. It was not because iron condors suddenly stopped existing, and it was not because backtesting is fake news. It was not because the market did something impossible. It happened because I oversized my positions, I started doing too much too early, and I stopped respecting the account size and the market. The market is unpredictable, and stuff like this is going to happen. The average risk for this week was $388. For a small account challenge, that is insane. And that's the whole lesson here. The moment the position size stops matching the account size, the plan stops protecting you. If you only looked at the win rate, you might think this week was fine. 70% win rate, that's a good win rate. 7 winners out of 10 trades. The entry probability of profit was over 85%. That sounds amazing. But look at the average winner versus the average loser. My average winner was a positive 81. My average loser was a negative 414. And that's the entire story. You can be right a lot and still lose everything if the losses are too large. And this is why risk management matters more than being right. I want to explain to you why I'm showing you this so openly. I wanted this lesson to happen early in this series rather than later, because I think too many people look at small account trading and assume a couple green weeks means they're ready to size up, and that's dangerous. If this account was real life for someone without a plan, this is exactly how you would get wiped out, and I do not want that to happen to you. That's why I'm stressing this very much, and I'm trying to show you this early on so that we can create a plan for when things like this happen. So what does this mean for the framework itself? It means the framework was right. The mistake was not that I had a plan. The mistake was that I stopped following it and I started oversizing my positions too early. In my plan, I told myself not to oversize positions, yet here I am getting the confidence because of a couple green weeks, and I went ahead and oversized those positions. This is also why automation matters, because one of the biggest risks in trading is the human tendency to override good rules. If the strategy is tested, the sizing is correct, and the rules are clear, automation can protect you from doing dumb things in the moment. But automation only helps if the rules are good first. So next week, I have to start over. And honestly, I think that's a good thing because the next version of this challenge is going to be more systematic, more rules-based, and more honest about sizing. This reset is not a failure, it's the point. We now know exactly what not to do. And now we can rebuild the right way. So week 3 ended with the account blown. Closed P&L was a negative $679. The account got wiped out because I oversized, broke the plan, and let a good setup become bad risk. But this is the lesson I wanted people to see. A strategy does not save you if your position size is reckless. A plan only works if you follow it. So next episode, I'm starting over, and this time we're going to be more systematic from the start. Now subscribe if you want to follow that reset. Take the guesswork out of options trading and don't let overconfidence take out your account. I'll see you in the next episode.